Turning your office enemies into your secret allies, brought to you by Lux von Zollern, the maker of exclusive garments for successful women, available at the website www.lvzprestige.com. Think Lux von Zollern when you wish to amplify your executive impact in high-stakes business environments. Let's face it, work can sometimes feel like an episode of Survivor. You've got your allies, your challenges, and of course, those people you definitely wouldn't want to share a lifeboat with. The office enemies are real, and navigating that web of office politics can be as tricky as walking through a minefield in high heels. But what if I told you that the very people you consider your enemies could actually become your most powerful allies? It's not some fluffy, feel-good advice. It's a strategy that can propel you to the top. Recognize the enemy's strengths and use them to your advantage. Here's the thing. Every office enemy has something you can learn from. Whether it's their charisma, their sharp intellect, or their ability to get things done under pressure, there's usually something in their skill set that you can benefit from, if you look close enough. Let's start by flipping the narrative. Instead of viewing your enemies as obstacles, start seeing them as potential assets. You might not love their attitude or their approach, but you can respect their skills. This is your opportunity to reverse engineer their success. What are they doing that's working for them? How can you learn from that? Take a moment to observe. Are they experts at getting things done? Are they masters of making connections with the right people? Recognizing what makes them tick gives you the perfect opportunity to either join forces or subtly adopt some of their successful strategies for your own benefit. Don't worry, you're not becoming a copycat. You're becoming a savvy strategist, learning from every angle, and turning their strengths into something that works for you. Find common ground and make it unbreakable. The best way to disarm an enemy? Find a way to connect. No matter how much you may butt heads, there's almost always something you can agree on. And when you find that sweet spot of shared interests, goals, or values, you've unlocked the gateway to turning that rival into a collaborator. Take the time to have a one-on-one conversation, without the corporate jargon and without the passive-aggressive tone. A simple, "Hey, I've noticed we both care a lot about XYZ project. Maybe we can put our heads together and make it even better," is all it takes. If you can align yourself with their interests or goals without compromising your own, it makes the transition from foe to ally much smoother. Once you've identified that common ground, it becomes easier to collaborate, share information, and support each other. Plus, when you begin to cooperate, your once hostile colleague may start seeing you not as a threat, but as an asset. The irony? You're still operating with the same end goal, but now, you've got a new team member working with you, not against you. And don't worry if it feels awkward at first. Even the most contentious relationships have a foundation of mutual respect and understanding when you begin focusing on what you both want rather than what you don't. Show empathy and take the high road. Listen, I know the temptation is strong to dive right into the mud with your rivals, throwing shade and matching their petty behaviors. But here's a little nugget of wisdom. Taking the high road will always win in the long run. And if you can do it while making your enemy think they're getting the best of you, well, that's next-level genius. Start by practicing empathy. Put yourself in their shoes. What are their frustrations? What pressures are they under? Understanding their perspective, even if you don't agree with it, allows you to approach the situation with a little more grace. It also gives you the emotional intelligence to know when to push back and when to give ground. Now, don't mistake empathy for weakness. You're still the queen of your domain, but showing that you can listen and understand can completely disarm even the most aggressive colleague. It's hard to continue being hostile when someone is actually listening to you and trying to understand your perspective. And when they see that you're not willing to stoop to their level, they'll start respecting you more, even if they don't show it immediately. This isn't about fixing their behavior. It's about making sure that you're operating at your highest level of professionalism, no matter what's going on around you. Keep it classy, and you'll turn your office enemies into your strongest supporters without ever breaking a sweat. Use subtle compliments to build trust. Compliments are powerful tools when used correctly. One of the easiest ways to break down barriers is through genuine acknowledgement. I know, you're not interested in being fake, and I respect that. But here's the catch. When you give a subtle, genuine compliment, You show that you're paying attention to their contributions, which makes them more likely to warm up to you. Instead of waiting for them to screw up or trying to one-up them at every turn, acknowledge their strengths. Compliment their ideas, their ability to stay calm under pressure, or even how they handled a difficult situation. This isn't about flattery. It's about showing them that you see their value and that you're not just out for your own gain. This kind of gesture is powerful because it shows you're both professional and strategic. You're not trying to manipulate them. Trust me, they'll see right through that. You're just taking the first step in turning the relationship into a more collaborative one. Create opportunities for small wins together. If you really want to turn that office enemy into an ally, you need to create opportunities for small wins that benefit both of you. Start by identifying situations where you both can shine. It could be taking on a smaller project together, collaborating on a report, or partnering up for a presentation. These are the stepping stones that allow you to build rapport, show your strengths, and demonstrate that you're a team player. When your rival sees you as a reliable, competent ally who knows how to make things happen, they'll be more likely to offer their support down the line. And the best part? You'll both share in the success, and with it, the newfound mutual respect that paves the way for bigger collaborations. Master the art of strategic silence. Okay, let's get a little sneaky here. One of the most powerful tactics in turning your enemies into allies is something so simple and so underrated that you might be surprised how effective it is. Silence. Now, before you start thinking, but how does silence help me with my work enemies? Let me explain. Silence doesn't just mean keeping your mouth shut when someone else is speaking. No. It's about being strategic with your words and knowing when to say less, not more. In fact, sometimes when you speak less, people will start coming to you for answers because they see you as a thoughtful, composed leader who doesn't rush to speak just for the sake of it. When your office rival is prattling on about their amazing idea that you already know is full of holes, instead of jumping in to shoot them down, stay quiet. You'll allow them to dig their own hole. People don't always need you to say something immediately. They need you to wait, observe, and then strategically add your thoughts when the time is right. It makes you seem calm, composed, and, let's face it, cooler than the one who can't stop talking. By taking this quieter, more observant approach, your rivals will start to see you as a force to be reckoned with, rather than just someone who constantly tries to outshine them. Your silence becomes a tool, allowing them to underestimate you while you secretly plot your next move. Show strategic vulnerability. Here's a fun fact. People don't bond with perfection. They bond with realness. It's true. When you show just a little bit of vulnerability, not the "I'm falling apart, someone help me" kind, but the "hey, I'm human, and I can admit I'm learning too" kind, you open up a door to connection. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I'm a powerhouse and I need to show them I'm invincible. Yes, Queen, I get it. But here's the truth. Perfect people are hard to trust because they seem unreachable. Vulnerability, on the other hand, makes you more relatable and gives your enemies the sense that you're someone who is capable of growth, and that makes you both powerful and approachable. For example, if you've been working on a project with a rival and you're asked for feedback, admit that you've been learning through the process and share one of your small, recent lessons. This shows that you're not so locked up in your own ego that you can't admit that you're also growing. By showing this kind of vulnerability, you make it easier for others to approach you, and they'll begin seeing you as an ally rather than someone who's always out for the top spot. Win their trust with the "follow me, I've got your back" mindset. The golden rule of allyship, I've got your back. Let me tell you, this is the magic phrase that turns the coldest of rivals into warm allies. But here's the trick. Don't just say it, show it. Words are nice, but actions are what really seal the deal. In a competitive, cutthroat environment, no one likes to feel like they're alone. If you can show that you're someone who will support others, even in the most challenging times, your enemies will be tempted to soften up. And when they see you're genuinely there to help and not to just get ahead, they'll start to trust you and even help you in return. Now, don't get me wrong. You're not playing the martyr. You're not saying, "I'll take all the blame so you look good." Instead, it's about being the one who lends a hand when they need it most. If you see a rival struggling, offer assistance or guidance. Maybe help them fine-tune a presentation, or give a little advice on how to approach a difficult client. By showing that you have their best interests at heart, you make it harder for them to keep seeing you as an adversary. And here's the kicker. When you start supporting them, they'll eventually feel like they owe you. And guess what? That's when you've officially turned an enemy into a loyal ally. Create opportunities for them to shine without compromising your own spotlight. Here's another clever tactic. Create opportunities for your rival to shine in a way that benefits you both. It might sound counterintuitive. Why would I help someone who's been out to get me? But trust me, this strategy works like a charm. By finding ways to showcase their strengths, you're creating a sense of indebtedness and fostering loyalty without doing anything overtly manipulative. And guess what? You'll look like the most gracious, self-assured person in the room. Not only that, but it'll make them feel like they've earned their place at the table with you, especially when you're the one who's been giving them opportunities to show what they're capable of. For example, if you're collaborating on a big project and you know your rival is great at pitching ideas, make space for them to present something important. When they shine, they're going to start seeing you as a team player who doesn't see them as a threat, but as a partner. In turn, you've helped them while subtly elevating yourself as the one who made it happen. Keep your eyes on the bigger picture. In a toxic or competitive environment, it's easy to get caught up in petty rivalries. But here's the truth. If you keep your eyes on the bigger picture and your goals, these small conflicts will fade into the background. Remember, office politics are just a small part of the career game you're playing. The real prize is the ultimate success and progression that comes when you build a network of allies, starting with your rivals. When you begin thinking long-term about your career, your reputation, and your growth, you'll realize that making peace with those around you can elevate your status in ways that petty battles never will. Keep your focus, rise above the noise, and you'll watch your rivals transform into powerful allies, helping you move forward with ease. And there you have it, your secret blueprint for turning office enemies into your most trusted allies. Remember, it's all about strategic empathy, patience, and knowing when to lead with support rather than confrontation. By using these strategies, you're not just surviving the corporate jungle, you're thriving in it. Keep your wits sharp, stay strategic, and watch your network of powerful allies grow, one enemy at a time. Your career success is just a few clever moves away. Brought to you by Lux von Zollern, the maker of exclusive garments for successful women, available at the website www.lvzprestige.com. Think Lux von Zollern when you wish to amplify your executive impact in high-stakes business environments.